written all over you. Hate written all over you. Hate written all over. Fate written all over you. Hate written all over.
I'm back. I'm wearing the Lakers hat tonight.
Hey, let's go.
Not because look, I've been shitting on the Lakers and they are winning right
Hey,
now.
they're playing right now.
They're playing really well. They're
They're
doing what I
playing.
wish they had done like 3 years ago, which is run the ball through Anthony Davis and not LeBron.
Yeah.
Um,
They
and
waited till he hit his 30s to start doing that, or what?
they waited till LeBron hit
Like
his
what?
40s to start doing it.
Yeah.
So the other thing that they're doing that I've long said they needed to be doing is LeBron's not bringing the ball up every time. So now the ball doesn't
Yeah.
start with him, stick with him. So
hmm
JJ's made some adjustments. I don't know if that was JJ or if that was Scotty Brooks or Nate McMillan or any of the vets that he's got. I'm not willing to give this motherfucker no credit. I'm just telling you
Nate
that right now.
McMillan's
But
on the coaching staff.
Nate McMillan's on the coaching staff right now.
Wow.
So I just want to say they got a pretty nice assistant coaching staff over there for this man, and he's standing on the shoulders of giants right now. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
But all that to say, the Lakers are doing very well right now. Season's still young. Um, Seems like they're caring about the NBA Cup
hmm
still, which is pretty dope. So shout out to the Lakers. Way to try to prove me wrong. Let's see if you can get me to buy cable before the end of the season. Let's see.
Oh shit, that's the real test right there.
That's the test.
If like by the All-Star break, you're like, oh shit, they might really make a run for it. You know what I'm
Yeah, by
saying?
the All Star break, well, because then football season will be over, so then I'll have no reason to have like YouTube TV or anything like that. So I could
There
just
you
cancel
go.
them motherfuckers right there,
There you go.
and then switch it back. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
No promises.
All right. Hey,
Um, but yeah, man, welcome back. Welcome back.
hey man,
I'm pretty
we
hyped today.
back. You hype?
Yeah, I woke up like, and then something happened at work, like, and it was like first thing in the morning, and just
Oh
got
shit.
my blood boiling, and I've just been on 10 like all day because I'm just like y'all motherfuckers didn't even wait till like
Uh,
noon to get me, so I've just been like fuck it,
uh,
you know what I mean, like and
yeah,
so I'm hype, and then there was just a lot of news that came out today, and just
yeah.
like yeah, it's just like yo, what is up?
Hey man, today is the reason. Hey, what happened today is the reason why we have this episode now, right? Why we have
Yeah,
this series now.
that is true,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
yeah, because I was like, yo.
We need to talk about this.
We need to talk about this. So your boy,
My dude,
your
my
boy.
dude.
Before we
Yeah,
get into this, before we get into all this, I just want to say a lot of what we're reacting to that's happened today and over the past week. Nen and I do not like to just like react
yeah.
right off the rip. We kind of like to digest a little bit. So we're giving you some initial reactions to things, but we're going to spend the time over the next few days listening, digesting, so that way we can give measured responses to what's happening in the industry right now.
We're gonna teach everyone how to process. You know what I mean?
Something we
Everyone's
didn't,
forgetting how to process, man.
everybody's like reacting right now.
Everyone just fucking eats that shit up and then shits it right out, man.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah, no one wants to go for a walk and let it digest. You know what I
Yeah, no
mean?
one wants to like,
Everybody is like dogs. It's just, you know,
yeah,
in the mouth and out of the ass. Or maybe
like
it's the other way.
oh, other. Sometimes the other way around.
Maybe it's in the ass and out of the mouth. Pause.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa. Hey yo, hey
so,
yo.
so yeah, we getting wild on this episode. It's wild and crazy. Um, okay,
Yes,
your boy,
my guy.
is so afraid of rapping against Kendrick. He's gonna do podcasts. He's a podcaster
He's gonna be like, I'm gonna be the best one out of the three to be a podcaster. All right.
Because I'm the first one out of the three to be a
Yeah.
podcaster.
Let's
So
go.
your boy is he's a podcaster now. How you feeling about that?
Hey man, shout out to my guy J. Cole, you know? Hey, come over to the bright side, bruh. We over here. The bright lights. You'll get used to it, don't
Um,
worry. You know? Hey
yeah,
man, it was a cool thing to see come across my timeline to see him drop this whatever he tried to call it. He tried to call it like it wasn't a podcast. Obviously, It's a
I
podcast,
don't know what to
audio
call this.
series.
Audio series? It's a
A
podcast, nigga. That's what it is.
it's an audio visual without the visual. It's like, okay, that's a podcast, bro. I don't know
See,
what to tell you.
this is the kind of shit we're talking about, Cole. That's the kind of shit we're talking about right there.
Oh
So,
man.
so you're excited for it.
I'm definitely hyped, bro. I want to, I haven't bought it yet. I haven't purchased the 9, 10 episodes, whatever it is yet. But I'm going to. I do
All
want to
right.
support this drop. I think it's a cool way for him to be what seems like him kind of testing the waters to see, how many people fuck with a kind of, pay to play kind of thing, a direct to consumer type vibe, if you will.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna reserve my opinions until we get an opportunity to listen.
That's
Uh,
true. That's
my
true.
my initial reaction is as a middle of the road Cole fan, like of his music and stuff like that, but at least of his current music. Um, my initial feeling is, nigga, I don't want to hear you talk about what got you hyped and get. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I just
Yeah.
want to hear the new slaps, nigga. That's all I need from you right now. Right
Yeah.
now, all I need from you is new music. I'm still not 100% a fan of you dropping it right now, but that's really all I want to hear from you right now. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
need 10 episodes of J. Cole being like, and since we trying to get Drake back on, I just want to say that he was a huge inspiration to me at the beginning of my career because that nigga was just like so great. I don't shut the fuck up, nigga. Like don't nobody want to hear this shit.
Is that what
Okay.
he's saying on the pod? I don't know.
He
I haven't listened
he
to
he
it.
said something like that. I saw a clip or heard a clip, and he said I'm paraphrasing because I have not sat down listening to it
Come
myself.
on, man. We gotta listen to
So,
it. We gotta listen to
all right. So when I listen to it, and that is around about what he said, I'm going ham on fucking Sunday when we record because I
It
don't
sound
want to
like he giving
hear.
flowers to a lot of people, not just
He
Drake.
is giving flowers, and that all of that is
I
great. I
Yes.
don't give a fuck. He's giving flowers to Jay Z, but I want to know what the Jay Z connection is. Like, I want the fucking juice. I don't give a
Well,
fuck.
I want to know what happened with with him and Jay Z
That's what I'm
because he was the
saying.
first artist signed to Jay Z, right? Technically,
What?
under
Rock
um
Nation.
yes,
Yeah,
and
this is what I'm saying. If you're going to do the podcast, then like do the podcast. Don't do the
yeah.
like, hey, this is I'm just gonna walk you through the beginning of my career. I don't give a fuck about none of this. Like you true hardcore J. Cole fans might love this shit. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Well,
watch
to be
this.
fair, I
Yeah.
also think it kind of plays into the idea that you so eloquently put together for his next album, if he does choose to go down that route,
Mm-hmm.
and playing into the idea of the fall off and the narrative that might be building around the fall off album. Again, I think he's putting a lot of weight on that album that for it to deliver, and if it doesn't deliver, I think it's going to be seen like a big failure. But with all that being said, I think this is very him rollout, and then I think for the community of people that are going to run to this, which is the percentage of his total fan base, his diehard fans, right, that are going to pay money to hear kind of his recanting of his whole career. Um, at the very least, I think he's setting the narrative for them the way he wants to do it. Right. Let me take you from the very start to present day, and then my album's gonna do the rest, kind of thing. Is something that he might be trying to do. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth or say that that's what he's trying to do,
Sure.
but I could see that being the vision. I'm not gonna cape for him and say, "Oh, that is what it is." I'll listen to it. I'll see what I get from it myself, but also I could see that being the play. It's not far fetched.
Yeah. So I do agree that this is more for his core fans than it is for people like me who are kind of just middle of the road. Um, so that all of that's fine. Um, to my point, I did not want him to go back to fucking 85 when he first heard rap and was inspired. Um, And then like, when he was, 4 or 5, he picked up a mic, and then he just, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Right. So, and I'm going to take you all the way up to 2014 Voice was right. Okay. Fantastic. Um, that's when we all liked you. So what happened after that? Like that, like that's, so you know what I mean? Like, I,
You was giving him way
and,
too much hate, bro. You giving him way too much hate, man.
so, I mean, I'm just saying that that's when we all were like very like, oh man, this kid J. Cole is he's really good. Like, we really want to hear this. And so I'm trying to figure out, because my point was, no, you go from where you were at your peak. I'm part of the big three,
Mm-hmm.
and then fell off. Air quotes fell off,
Yeah.
and now I'm, this is my journey. I didn't want him to go back to the beginning of his career, right? But that
Yeah,
could
but
be
that's the
that
way
could
he
be
wants
part
to
of
tell
the
the story.
concept, which is
Yeah.
fine, just fine. I'm just saying that as of right now, I just want the slaps, but I'm going to listen to the podcast, so it might just be a good listen, and I'll give it credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But it's just not what I was looking for J. Cole, from J. Cole, right? If Dreamville, if he was doing a Dreamville, or if this was a thing where he's trying to, I don't know, he's trying to big up everything else. I don't know, a podcast to do your album rollout. I don't know. I'm not vibing with it right now, but I'll listen to it and we'll see.
It's the podcast. He released his mixtape on DSPs, and then I think you mentioned to me pre-production that he also released a song in that
Yeah, I
kind
heard
of.
about this inevitable track that released. I'll look it up while we're chatting here. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna listen to it. So,
Yeah.
regardless of what I'm saying here right now, he's gonna get $10 out of me, unfortunately. Um, yeah, podcast inevitable. Okay, I'm gonna find this out while we're looking. But
Okay.
I think you wanted to have a larger conversation anyway tonight, just about the way he's distributing it. So how are you feeling about the way this is rolling out? Kind of on his own website.
Well, I
Um,
think that's something that I'm still processing, a part of the processing factor of it all. But it is something to look into for me. I definitely look into just, I think the way that artists are trying to circumvent the traditional nature of releasing music right now or releasing content. Again, I think the artists are looking at themselves more like, I guess for lack of a better term, I'm a content house. So everything that I distribute, how can I minimize the amount of like facets I have to go through to distribute this to my fans, right? And then how do I get it more direct to them to then also benefit me and the payouts of these things, right? Because fuck a stream, bro. A stream don't count for shit.
no, it does not.
You know what I mean? Like that's just, it's terrible. Spotify don't pay shit. Apple Music don't pay shit.
No, they
Title,
don't.
I don't. Well, who's on title? You know what I mean? I wonder if Pandora's paying out well or not.
What's
Uh,
Pandora?
oh
That's
man, you know
funny.
what I mean? So I'm just like, it's so to see him test this out again, it's not a new idea to try to go direct to your fans in this way. Kind of try to, how do I minimize having to rely on a even a YouTube or one of these platforms where it's like I'm beholden to whatever this platform wants to do. I think you're seeing that a lot now, right now with the Twitter users, right? People who are
Hmm.
going to blue skies. It's like, look, I'm not just about to be beholden to this bullshit terms and conditions you got going on Twitter. And
This is
like,
true.
I make content that thrives on Twitter. I'm not gonna have my shit stripped away from me, right?
This is true.
So again, but that's the issue that people face is being beholden to one kind of outlet, and then when that outlet switches up, because it can switch up overnight, um, then you have an issue because it's like, well, this is my main source and my main way of like communicating to my fans, to my community, and now I need to somehow transfer that over somewhere else. And how do I do that?
Hmm.
Right? How do I get that word out to people? How do I get I like just do that directly, so I know that I'm the one in control and not somebody else. So I see all that. Not to fucking put my fucking aluminum foil on my head, but that's definitely how I'm feeling about this rollout. Again, J. Cole's not the only artist to be doing it. We see other people making attempts, and I do think that music is trending that way. I do think it's trending in the way of especially the big artists with bigger fan bases to be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be strictly direct to my the consumers of my music, and if you want my music you need to pay for it, and I've established enough of a fan base and enough of a desire for people to want to consume my music that they'll go pay for it. In a model that died out many years ago, I'll be able to reestablish it and repackage it in a different way so that people can buy uh, my music, even if it has to come with something else, right? But it'll be directly from me, and I'll profit all 10 of those dollars. God damn it!
Which is cool. I mean, I'm happy just to support just from that aspect of it, right? Like, I'm happy to know that the $10 is going to, J. Cole, and not
hmm
$10 going to insert faceless corporate organization here.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm actually happy for that, and I'm happy to um, support that. Um, I've mentioned it ad nauseum on this podcast that we need to go back to having to pay for content because it is going
hmm
to actually get the artist and or act to produce their best every time. Because if you don't, then people will not give the $10.
right.
The reason this is probably catching on with creators, with creatives, is because um, the real ones that are doing this for the love of their art,
hmm
and to put out something they want to be able to put out and not have any handcuffs on them
hmm
from a record deal or anything like that. I think those people are trying to figure out a way to make sure that they continue to get paid off of doing something that they really love.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna support that. I will ask that you complete your project, Kanye, before you ask me for the money, like, because I don't want to pay you for your unfinished situation. Like, go figure your shit out. I don't want to deal with that. So I can appreciate that J. Cole had a formed thought concept is that this is what I'm rolling out. It is going to be 10 episodes. I imagine those episodes have been recorded, and he's slow rolling these each week. The first two episodes are out. I just paid my $10. So I will get to listening on his inevitable website.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, I'm here for the artists doing what they need to do to make their money. So
Yeah.
that's I've always been here for that. I'm always going to be here for that. It doesn't matter the artist. If Drake could be paid for his 100 gigs, then I'm all for that. Unfortunately, he could not because he's not allowed to monetize on anything he does because of the contract he's in. So um,
Sad.
that's
Sad.
yeah, that is a
Jeez.
sad thing. Like,
Way to bring down the room.
oh
Jeez.
man, it's an interesting juxtaposition, right? Because Kendrick is obviously free to drop everything and make every dollar he wants to make. Maybe, and I'm gonna shoot him some bail right now. Cole, maybe he did a podcast because he is also under a contract and he can't release any music this way. So his way of getting the $10 is a podcast, which is not a record, and so he can do that and make the money. But when he releases the album, he has to release it via the label because we know Dreamville is under. Dreamville is signed to that nigga who signed to that nigga who signed to that nigga, right? Like, we know that's what's going on here for everybody on a deal. So yeah, I'm here. Hey, however you guys want to get it to us, I'm happy to get it. If you want to go back to just putting it on wax, literally, like a vinyls, and we got to go to the fucking record store. I'm into that too. Like I'm ready for whatever is going to put the dollar right back into the artist's hands. So shout out to J. Cole. I'm going to be excited to listen to and promptly shit on your project. That's probably what's going to happen. And I gotta. I'm just providing balance because Nina's gonna love all of this. I'm gonna
The hate is real,
just,
bruh.
just providing some
Nah, you
balance.
just too keen on the hate, bruh. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate J. Cole. I just hate how he's moving. I
Hey,
wanna,
bruh. We're
I
about
wanna
to talk
make
about
something
some
here.
dudes that are moving a lot worse than J. Cole right now. And that shit
We
happened
about
in
to.
like 2 weeks. I don't
No,
know.
we're about to talk to dudes that are moving a lot, but I don't want to play the like moving weird Olympics where there's like levels to this. Like there's a spectrum. Niggas is moving weird. Cole is also moving weird, so I'm calling his
It's
weird shit
nah,
out
it's
too.
definitely a spectrum.
All right,
You're gonna have to admit to it being a spectrum because there's levels to this weird shit. And it definitely get really weird.
okay. So let's move on to
Okay,
the
so
weird.
whatever we call Cole, we're gonna have to review with what we're about to call these guys because it went from the dude that threw a punch and then immediately regretted it
Yeah,
to the dudes that were what were they doing? Dancing on graves? What were they doing?
I mean, so um, at the risk of being called a Kendrick Glazer, it was very they're very clout chasey. This beef was really good for Metro and Future.
Right.
So Metro and Future, if you haven't heard, did a spread pause in GQ um, magazine, and questions
A
were
spread
asked
in
about the
GQ is crazy.
That's what they're called, magazine spreads. Before
A
everybody got
spread in
immature,
GQ?
yeah,
GQ fashion?
GQ fashion spread.
Hey, yo.
That's what they're called. Hey, I'm just using English here.
All right,
Um,
go ahead.
so they did the interview in GQ magazine.
Yeah.
They were asked some questions or a question or whatever about the beef. I haven't actually gone to read this just yet because I was busy today. It came out today. I do want to start with one thing though. I just want to make sure, talking about even playing fields or spectrums, I just want to make sure that Metro and Future get the same hate Kendrick Lamar got for doing Harper's Bazaar. Just want to make sure we do that because if we don't do that, then I don't want to be called a Kendrick Glazer no more. So they went and did GQ. That is not a black publication. It is not a hip hop publication. So are we gonna? So is it time to get on the hate train for you motherfuckers who were on the hate train and had promptly forgot that Drake before the Harper's Bazaar drop did that weird fucking interview with the Outdoors magazine?
And you know what? I'm gonna want you to do the same thing you did with the Harper's Bazaar interview and find out who did the photography,
That's what
who
I'm
was
gonna
head
do.
of photography,
I'm gonna
who
do
was
that.
the lead interviewer,
I'll bring
who
it for
was
Sunday.
the
I'll read the interview.
exactly. So we're gonna go into that level of detail because again, that when we shed some light on who was a part of making this interview possible for Harper's Bazaar with Kendrick, it's like okay, let's compare it to this GQ one with Future Metro.
Hmm.
We better really see.
And I want the comments. Everybody who commented around the world about, oh, he ain't really this nigga always trying to rapping like he frees the slaves, but he's in Harvard Resort. Like all that dumb shit you guys, you motherfuckers is out here saying. Keep the same energy when your nigga Future is out here not doing black publications, and whatever. It's fine. I just want to
Hmm.
say that it's fine. I'm fine with it. I just need all you shits to be fine with it too.
Hey
So,
man,
so that's one. That's the first thing. But getting into the interview, who you want to start with, Metro or Future?
you know what? Let's start with Future.
Okay.
All right, your guy.
Okay. Let me preface this by saying I've never liked Future's rap music ever. There are Future songs that I fuck with. I was lukewarm on We Don't Trust You. I was a little cooler on We Still Don't Trust You.
Mhm.
Not because Metro's beats weren't hitting, those beats were fucking hard, but because We Still Don't Trust You. I don't listen to Future. His rapping wasn't any better than it's been on any other album he's ever released. And on We Still Don't Trust You, there's nothing in me that wants to listen to an auto tuning Future whine over 14 tracks or whatever the fuck it was. That's not a thing that I want. So to that, I say some of what he was saying in that interview, when you go read it, and or if you have the opportunity to read it, I think some of it was a little, he was being a little facetious, and he was just being a little flippant, which is
Mhm.
cool. And I don't want him to give, I don't want him to give the scoop to GQ. By the way, let me start by saying that I don't want him to give the
Yeah.
scoop to GQ. I would prefer he give the scoop to a black publication or a hip hop publication. If he is going to give the scoop, so I'm okay with kind of the half-hearted, half-assed answers. The things that started rubbing me the wrong way, pause about the interview was when he started talking like he couldn't understand why like that like sparked the beef. He couldn't understand why people didn't take into account his feelings because Kendrick was shooting at him on his song, and
Nah,
I'm
bruh.
I'm like Future. You were never part of the big three. Like when people said big three, you were never in it. Not never,
Never.
not one time. Not never,
Never.
not never. And this isn't just like this isn't my own. If there is an artist that I will actively hate on outside of Drake, it is Future. Not because they're not great guys. I don't know these guys. It's just I don't enjoy Future's music, and I don't like the way Drake moves. Right. So he was never big three, not never.
Mm-mm.
And so what the fuck are you talking about is what I have to say to Future. What the fuck is you talking about? Like that's all. He was never talking about you in it, and you know that, and you knew he was not talking. And don't fucking sit up here in my fucking face and act like you didn't ask Kendrick for that fucking verse, and he didn't send it to you, and you guys didn't listen to it, and then go, that shit is hard. Then mix, fucking master it, fucking arrange your goddamn album for that fucking song, and then pretend now like people just don't understand how I feel. That nigga shot at me on my song. You're not about to do that to me. You're not about to do that to me. I don't appreciate that shit. I don't appreciate you in the first place. I definitely don't appreciate the fuck you're doing right now. So that's my initial feeling. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go. You go.
Just what are we doing, bruh? What are we doing? Future out here moving with the delusion that puts New Yorkers to shame, bruh. That's what I'm gonna say. All right.
New
He's
Yorkers
got
gonna
New
come for you,
York
bro.
level of delusion right
They
now.
gonna
All
come for
right.
you, bro.
That's okay. They can come. I don't care. Oh man, look, I don't even like. Was the South even saying that he was part of the big three? Because I never heard that. I never heard that
Nobody
from
said that. Not one
nobody.
time
Was
ever.
you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like a regional thing. Like oh, you gonna get a different big three. This was like a widespread, like acknowledged thing. Whether people agreed with it or not, maybe it was a different story. But people acknowledge, like when you reference the big three, you mean these three dudes. Like that's just what it
Not
came
in
down
any
to,
order,
right?
too. It wasn't like, well, I mean, I guess a lot of people were saying Drake was number one, and then you did whoever you wanted for number two or three. But
Yeah,
really, whoever you talked to, those were the three for three different reasons, by the way.
yeah. It was just a part of the vernacular of
Mhm.
the conversation. Like that's just what it was. So for him to say that shit is just goofy, bro. And I mean, he be doing a lot of goofy shit. It's not surprising. Again, I don't. I know that in this whole beef, he's tried to like toe the line of being like, oh, well, I'm repping hard for Metro. Metro's family. Like I'm gonna go there first. But it's also like you're not gonna be on two albums just strictly hating on this dude. Where every other song you're talking about how you hating on how this dude almost fucked your girl and betrayed you and all this shit and clearly talking about one person, and then be like, nah, man, but like no one thought that I was being dissed on like that. No one
No.
thought. What about me? What about Future?
Nigga, what about you? You know why that song is tough? Because Kendrick came at that track with a level of aggression that Future never did. Like that beat is Metro put together some a great collection of sounds to make a really tough, menacing beat, and then Kendrick came on and fucking murdered everything you had to say on that track. I don't even half the time when I'm thinking about that song remember what Future says. There's only one part of it that I actually like from him. It's the chorus, and then when he's like, "Ball like you got a championship ring," like that's the only thing that I like when when Future is on that song. But everything else, as I listen to it, because I listened to it today, because I do like that song. I really love like that. I
Yeah. I don't want
is
him to
it's
ruin
something
like that
crazy.
for me by trying to bring on this corny shit because it's just not
It's very corny.
like we just gotta stand on what we
Some
say,
Drake level
and
corny
it's
too.
okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, look, it was said. I don't know. Like, it's not gonna change. You put out a song, like, it's not gonna change by you saying this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that it's the world of like convenient amnesia these days. I feel like shit don't live on for more than like 3 months, if that. But come on, bro. We're not gonna act
It's
like
just
this whole spring shit didn't happen. You know what I mean?
well, I maintain that Kendrick's like that verse was like one of the hardest verses in the whole beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, and you can't whether you intended it to or not, it sparked one of the biggest moments in hip hop
Mm-hmm.
it history, and definitely over the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because the world was glued to what was happening in this beef. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like that was the launching pad. So, you're going to be forgotten a little bit because when we mention like that, we're not mentioning it because you were beefing with Drake. We're mentioning it because Kendrick launched the beef with Drake off of that track.
Right.
It is what it is. So, did we forget about you? Yes, but that's kind of your fault for being forgettable. Like that's not like you didn't come on there and then flame up Drake. Like Kendrick, fuck sneak dissing, right? Like that's what he said on there, right? And he came out and said what he had to say directly at two motherfucking people, while you just said something about women and drugs and the stuff you normally rap about. It wasn't like it was a future rap track. Like it was fine.
That's exactly what it was, right? It's exactly what they like. Literally was that.
Yeah, like it was fine. So future, I'm trying to shoot him a little bell, like I could imagine going to a GQ spread pause, and then I'm gonna do that three more times by the way because we're about to talk about Metro. So we, I can imagine going there and then you being asked questions about Kendrick, kind of fucking you off a little bit, like like, "Hey, is this spread about Kendrick or me and Metro?" Like, I could see that being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But you are forever attached to the Kendrick Drake beef because you had beef with Drake and because Kendrick used your song to say, "Hey, I'm cleaning this nigga out."
He's just mad that he didn't get to continue to have the moment. The moment left them a little bit, right? And it
A lot of
became the
bit.
moment of Kendrick's moment. Kendrick
I,
and Drake, and ultimately Kendrick,
I
right?
got something spicy. Like that's only got a Grammy nom because Kendrick was on it. Like
Yeah.
I'm ready to come right out and say that if Kendrick's
Well,
not
it's
on the
attached
track,
to the biggest moment of the year, right? It's
yeah,
attached. It's again, it's credited with launching the biggest moment of the year, so
yeah,
that's why it's got the Grammy nom. I don't think that's a far fetched thing to say.
yeah.
Look, man, I'm Future was harmonizing. Hate written all over you. Hate written all over you. Like, come on, we're not gonna act like you want to talk about Drake, bro. What are we talking about? The fuck?
So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna have some. That is an emotional reaction I have. I'm gonna have a more well formed, well thought out hate piece for Future after I read this full interview,
Mm-hmm.
because I just flat out don't like Future or any music he's made. So a lot of people are gonna say what you need to say in the comments. I don't listen to Future's music, so that sound I I aged out quicker than everyone else. I don't like the sound of Future.
Yeah.
But let's switch to Metro,
Okay.
who I think I have a bigger problem with.
Okay.
Okay, so ever since Young Thug has gotten out, um, Young Thug, hope you stay out, brother. Just stay away from Twitter, my guy. Don't push it.
Just just
Uh,
maintain, brother. Just maintain.
just maintain. Don't put nothing on record. Don't put nothing on wax, brother. Um, So ever since Young Thug got out, it feels like everybody that was really hot in that Atlanta, specifically that Atlanta rap scene, is trying to come out and I, I figure out how to piece this up. And so
Mm-hmm.
if Metro or if Future had just came and said, yeah, like I have beef with him, he know what he did, but I'm good. We can piece it up whenever he's ready. I would have been like, okay, cool. But I want the scoop, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Metro, on the other hand, though, seemed to be it was a little bit more personal because he was like hot. He was out tweeting back at Drake, and they're tweeting at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and I'm paraphrasing here. You can go read the quotes yourself. He said uh, a bunch of dumb shit that really got on my fucking nerves. Okay, I just had to call it dumb shit first because I was really really aggravated.
Okay.
But he said, "Do we think he spent 2 years making an album, blowing budgets, just to hate on someone? That's not them." To that, I say, yes, yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I think you did.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you guys had names for these projects when you were making the music. But if you didn't, you landed on "We Don't Trust You" and then proceeded to have everybody that was having beef with a specific person at the time
Mm-hmm.
for various reasons, whatever everyone's own reasons were,
Yeah.
called that project "We Don't Trust You." And you had everybody and their mom on there who had a problem with this person. Then, not a month later, you released a project called "We Still Don't Trust You," and then had someone that Drake had took a shot at on the fucking album where we're like, damn, Cole, you jumped off the ship real quick on this motherfucker, right? And you had ASAP
Cole was
out
on
here,
there.
you had the
ASAP was
weekend, you
on
know what I
there.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
the
I'm like,
weekend.
and
Ricky Rose was on the
Ricky
first
Rose
one.
was on there, like, and I'm gonna let you rock, Nana. And you produce the summer the summer smash BBL Drizzy. Like you did not plan this. Don't fucking piss on me and then
That
say it's raining.
nah, nah, man. Fuck out of here, bro. We not about to act like we just forgot about all that shit. Like that was a wild night. Oh, we don't talk about May
uh,
and April, May
um,
and June, bro. We don't talk about that shit. What stays in springtime stays in springtime, bro. What happens in springtime stays in springtime, bro. Like no, bro.
no,
No, bro. God
no.
damn, bro. Like, what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? We had a weekend on there, fucking harmonizing hate. It was a whole album full
It
of
was
haterade,
impressive.
bro.
It
It
was.
was
It was.
crazy. It
And
was
R&B niggas
crazy.
singing.
Singing,
Hmm.
you know, trying to come on, man. So we not again. If it's for the sake of trying to, I don't know, bring Atlanta together because they're feeling like they're falling off, because they want to get back together for Young Thug or whatever. I don't know. It's just a little odd. I still don't understand how that has anything to do with Drake. Just because Drake got all his heat and all his his fucking spice from Atlanta. But since he got
Yeah,
all his cred from
he got all
Atlanta,
his seasoning from Atlanta. That's for sure. He was very raisins in the potato salad before he got to Atlanta, and now
uh,
he's
but he was mad zesty before Atlanta too. So it's
nigga's still
just
zesty. Nigga's still zesty. Okay, okay. He was zesty when he had the braids. He's zesty when he cuts the motherfuckers off. Until he
yeah,
learns how to take a fucking selfie without duck lips, I'm calling this nigga zesty. Like
yeah,
that's
man.
it.
He just leaned harder into all the shit that Kendrick called him. So hey, there you go. I guess
So
you
I
proved him
mean,
right.
so this feels like to me that everybody is at least trying to build a narrative for 2025 because that's when I
Hmm.
think everybody's projects, Young Thug, Lil Baby, Future Part, or not Future, I'm sorry, Drake and Party.
Hmm.
Future might release something. God, that nigga releases music all the fucking time. I also don't believe that they were working on this for 2 years because Future releases music like way too quick. And I don't think he just be having music in the tuck.
I do
Um,
think it really could have been done like within the first part of the year,
yeah,
ready to go.
yeah.
Like
It
no
definitely
doubt.
feels like you guys worked on this. I'm not saying they didn't have songs from a few years ago or have concepts from a few years ago that and Metro had it probably okay. So let me rewind. It probably took Metro 2 years to produce these songs, like
Hmm.
and get them all to where that he wanted them to be. It definitely did not take Future 2 years to record on them. So like that's not a thing you're going to get me to believe. So you guys can fuck off.
Well, I just
So
want I just want Metro to stop gaslighting me, man. Like, what you
yeah,
talking about, bruh? Like, you acting like that shit all didn't just happen. Like,
yeah,
I know what being gaslit is, bruh. That's what it is.
is it's bad. Like this was a bad look. This was a bad look. It wasn't in. I'm about to get on everybody who hated on Kendrick. I'm about to get on all that energy. It wasn't in a black publication. It wasn't in a hip hop publication. So there's the two things, and then they're just talking about bullshit anyway. And then they got softball questions, and they got. I want all the shits that everybody said about Kendrick. I want all of it said about this fucking GQ article about Metro and you know what? Fuck that. I'm calling it. I'm going back. It's a spread. I want them to go. I want all the hate on this Metro and Future spread in GQ. Because if we don't get it, then we know what's. I mean, we already know what's up. That niggas just want to hate on Kendrick, and I'm glazing because niggas don't like Kendrick's music, which is fine. I'm also honest that I don't like Drake's music.
Yeah,
Drake could be a fine human. He seems like a really good dad. Doesn't seem like a great partner, but I don't know him. And I feel like he's appropriating Black American culture. If you don't agree with that, or if you're allowing that, you sanctioning that shit, more power to you.
yep,
Um, but I'm not gonna let these Atlanta niggas get out here and try and tell me that the shit sandwich they're trying to serve me is a turkey club. Not about to do that.
nah, bruh.
Not about to do that. So
It
okay,
smell like shit, look like shit. Then they
fucking
gotta be
flies are
shit.
swarming it. Nah, bruh, it's a steak sandwich, nigga.
Yeah,
Please. All right. So here's what we promise. We're gonna go back. We're gonna read the article. We may have some different feelings on Sunday when we record.
yeah,
So we're gonna read the article. We're gonna watch J Cole. We're gonna have some of that. Um, and we're gonna talk about things. I want to have a larger conversation about how I'm feeling like Kendrick is just, you know, like made Drake cut his braids. Got Future and Metro like trying to ice skate out of some shit they was on his side of.
hmm,
And then got J Cole talking about let's do a podcast, brother. Like I don't want to do music right now. I want to do a podcast. So I just want to talk about
hey,
just want to talk
man.
about how this industry, how this rap shit feels like it's in the middle of some change.
Well, Kendrick put he put some truth serum into the fucking pond that was rap.
Hmm.
And that shit got cleared out, bruh.
Oh man, he definitely
It
put the
got
weed
cleared
killer down.
out.
He put the weed killer down. That motherfucker went, yeah,
Yeah.
like he was spraying it. Like,
Or all the nasty. It's like that water distillation thing you can do where you
oh
can
yeah,
separate the dirt from the
oh
water.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's what he did. He separated the dirt from the water. Now you just got clean water.
yeah. Well,
Is
we'll
Kendrick
see.
Jesus?
Is Kendrick Black Jesus?
over. Fake written all over you. Hate written all over you. Fake written all over you.